Call the police. She doesn't belong here. 8 minutes later, she owned the building. Victoria Sterling's heels echoed through the Grand Metropolitan's lobby. Black leather briefcase, $1,000 suit, $1 million confidence. The receptionist's smile died. Excuse me, this is a members-only hotel. I'm checking in. Victoria placed her phone on the marble counter. Do you have a reservation? The tone dripped skepticism. Room 1247. Sterling. I'll need to verify this. The receptionist's fingers hesitated over the keyboard. 2 white guests walked straight to the elevators. No questions, no verification. Security approached. Ma'am, step away from the desk. Victoria checked her watch. 8 minutes left. For what? For you to keep your jobs. Have you ever been underestimated at the worst possible moment? These real-life stories show how power shifts instantly. This black story proves that touching stories about justice aren't always fairy tales. David Morgan materialized beside the reception desk. Navy uniform, gold nameplate, practiced smile. What's the problem, Jennifer? Third-party booking. You know how those are. Jennifer's fingers drummed the marble counter. Victoria placed her confirmation email on the desk. Sterling, room 1247. David squinted at the screen. When did you make this reservation? Yesterday. These discount sites. He shook his head. We've had fraud issues. A white couple approached. Henderson wedding party. Welcome back, Mr. Patterson. Jennifer beamed. No questions, no verification. Victoria observed the interaction. Interesting. Ma'am, I need you to step aside. David's voice carried across the lobby. I'll wait here. David's radio crackled. Need backup at reception. 2 security guards appeared. Tom Bradley, 20-year veteran. Kevin, eager rookie. Issue? Tom positioned himself behind Victoria. Reservation dispute. David's tone suggested otherwise. Victoria opened her briefcase. Goldman Sachs business cards barely visible. First-class luggage tags on her bag. Phone notification. Board meeting reminder, 3:00 p.m. Ma'am, we need you to leave. Tom's hand moved toward his radio. I'm not trespassing. Your payment method requires verification. Jennifer's voice grew louder. We've had fraudulent cards. Phones appeared. A teenager started live streaming. This is wild. They're kicking her out for nothing. The counter ticked upward. 200 viewers. 400 viewers. Victoria noticed the cameras. Keep recording. You're creating a disturbance, David announced. I'm standing quietly. An elderly white woman approached. What's the delay? Give her a room. Mrs. Henderson, we're handling this properly. David's tone shifted to respectful. Looks like harassment. Mrs. Henderson pulled out her phone. I'm calling Channel 7. Please don't involve media. David's composure cracked. Too late. Mrs. Henderson was already dialing. The live stream hit 600 viewers. Comments flooded. This is discrimination. Sue them. What hotel is this? Victoria checked her watch. 6 minutes. Until what? Kevin couldn't contain his curiosity. Until this gets expensive. Jennifer leaned toward David. Should we call police? Not yet. David studied Victoria's calm demeanor. Something felt wrong. Victoria's phone buzzed. Text. Legal team standing by. Press release ready. She typed back. 5 minutes. Who are you texting? David demanded. My lawyer. Jennifer snorted. Right. Victoria's phone rang. She answered quietly, stepping away from the desk. Yes, I understand. 4 minutes remaining. David's eyes widened. 4 minutes until what? Until you wish you'd given me that room key. The live stream exploded. 800 viewers, 1,000 viewers, comments. She's about to destroy them. This is getting good. Tom radioed for backup. Might need police support. For what crime? Mrs. Henderson interjected. Standing while black? Victoria's phone buzzed again. She glanced at the screen. Transaction finalized. Congratulations. She smiled. 3 minutes. David's face went pale. 3 minutes until what? Until you meet your new boss. The lobby fell silent. Who's our new boss? Jennifer whispered. Victoria placed her business card on the reception desk. The name was visible. Victoria Sterling, CEO. But the company name remained hidden under her thumb. 2 minutes, she said quietly. Marcus entered through the revolving doors. Expensive suit, serious expression. Victoria, everything's ready. David grabbed for the business card. Victoria pulled it back. 1 more minute, then we'll talk. The live stream counter hit 1,500 viewers. David's hands shook. What happens in 1 minute? Victoria smiled. You find out what happens when you judge people by their appearance instead of their bank account. The hotel lobby tensed. More phones appeared. The live stream counter climbed. 1,800 viewers. 2,300 viewers. Victoria checked her watch. 5 minutes. David's radio crackled. Sir, Channel 7 news van outside. They're setting up. What? David's voice pitched higher. Who called them? Mrs. Henderson, Jennifer whispered. Through the glass doors, a reporter adjusted her microphone. Camera crew unloaded equipment. Victoria's phone buzzed. She smiled, reading the text. Ma'am, I'm asking you to leave voluntarily. David's desperation showed. Or what? We'll call police. For what crime? Mrs. Henderson stepped forward. I'm a retired federal judge. You have no legal basis. She's disrupting business. By standing quietly? Mrs. Henderson laughed. Try again. The live stream comments exploded. Judge just destroyed him. This hotel's done. Manager's panicking. Victoria opened her briefcase wider. Documents labeled confidential became visible. David's eyes narrowed. What are those papers? Research. Victoria's voice stayed calm. Research on what? This hotel. Management performance. Customer complaints. She lifted a report. Interesting reading. Jennifer leaned forward. What complaints? Discrimination allegations. 7 filed this year. All involving staff at this desk. David's face reddened. Those are internal matters. Not when they become lawsuits. Victoria smiled. Public record. The news reporter entered. Sarah Morgan, Channel 7. We received discrimination reports. No discrimination, David said quickly. Reservation issue. Then why call security on a paying guest? She's not... David stopped himself. I'm not what? Victoria's voice carried dangerous calm. Silence. The live streaming teenager adjusted her angle. Y'all, this is insane! 4,000 viewers now! Victoria's phone rang. Sterling speaking? Victoria, legal team's in position. Everything ready on your signal. Good. 4 minutes. David's eyes widened. 4 minutes until what? Until this becomes expensive for you. Expensive how? Discrimination lawsuits start at 7 figures. Victoria's smile was ice cold. David's radio crackled. Sir, corporate's calling. They want immediate explanations. Tell them we're handling it. They're watching the live stream. They want you now. Victoria's phone buzzed again. She glanced at it. Transaction approved. Stand by for final authorization. 3 minutes, she announced. Until what? Kevin couldn't contain himself. Until you discover what happens when you mess with the wrong person. The live stream hit 5,000 viewers. Comments. She's about to destroy them. This is getting wild. Tom radioed for backup. Need additional security. Situation escalating. Escalating how? Mrs. Henderson demanded. She's standing peacefully. Victoria opened another document. Hotel revenue down 31% this quarter. Staff turnover up 89%. Customer satisfaction at record lows. David paled. How do you know internal numbers? I make it my business to know. Your business? Victoria smiled mysteriously. You could say that. Sarah positioned her microphone. Ma'am, are you planning legal action? That depends on the next 2 minutes. David's hands shook. Look, maybe we can work something out. Work what out? Your room. We can upgrade you. Complimentary services. Now you want to help me? I was just following protocol. What protocol involves calling security on confirmed guests? Well, when someone looks... David caught himself. Looks like what? Silence stretched through the lobby. Say it, Victoria pressed. When someone looks like what? David's mouth opened and closed. The live stream comments erupted. Say it! He can't! This is incredible! Victoria's phone rang. She answered quietly. Yes, I understand. 1 minute remaining. She hung up and smiled at David. 1 minute until your life changes forever. What's happening in 1 minute? You'll find out. Victoria's voice was silk over steel. But I'll give you a hint. She pulled out her business card, keeping the details hidden. I'm not just any guest, David. Who are you? Someone who doesn't tolerate discrimination. Are you a lawyer? Victoria's smile widened. Something like that. The lobby held its breath. 6,000 viewers watched in silence. 30 seconds, Victoria announced. David's face went white. Please, I have a family. So do the 7 people who filed complaints about your behavior. 10 seconds, she said quietly. What's going to happen? Jennifer whispered. Victoria placed her business card face down on the reception desk. Time's up. She flipped the card over. The business card lay face up on marble. Victoria Sterling, CEO, Sterling Hospitality Group. David stared. Color drained from his face. Sterling Hospitality. Jennifer's voice trailed off. Mrs. Henderson gasped. You own the Meridian chain? The Grandview Hotels. Victoria nodded silently. The live stream exploded. 8,000 viewers, 10,000 viewers. Comments flooded. She's a CEO! Plot twist! Manager's finished! David's mouth opened. No words came. 47 properties, 12 states, $2.8 billion in annual revenue. Victoria's voice was ice. And as of 12 minutes ago, she opened her briefcase, withdrew a thick document. I own this hotel too! The lobby erupted. Gasps, phones everywhere. Sarah's microphone captured every sound. That's impossible, Jennifer whispered. Victoria placed the contract on the desk. Acquisition agreement, Grand Metropolitan Hotel. Purchase price, $847 million. Closing, 2:57 p.m. today. David's legs buckled. He gripped the marble counter. You bought this hotel? I bought this hotel. Which makes you... Victoria smiled coldly. My employee. The live stream hit 12,000 viewers. Comments chaos. Best twist ever. She owns the place. David's dead. Tom's radio fell from his shaking hand. Kevin backed toward the wall. Jennifer covered her mouth, tears forming. "But nobody told us," David stammered. "Because I wanted the authentic experience." Victoria's voice cut like glass. "Congratulations. You delivered." Sarah thrust her microphone forward. "Ms. Sterling, was this planned?" "The acquisition was planned. My visit was investigative." "You were testing your own staff?" "I was testing customer service standards. The results exceeded my worst expectations." Mrs. Henderson laughed bitterly. "Oh, honey, you got the full show." Victoria pulled out her phone. "Marcus, bring them in." The revolving doors spun. Marcus entered with 3 lawyers in dark suits. Their presence filled the lobby with new gravity. "Victoria, the transfer is complete. You have full authority." "Excellent!" Victoria gestured to David. "Meet my head of customer service." The lead lawyer approached. "Mr. Morgan, I'm Robert Hayes. We need to discuss your future." "My future?" "Your behavior today created significant legal liability, discrimination, civil rights violations, public humiliation of our CEO." David's face went white. "I didn't know. You didn't know she was rich, but you knew she was black." Hayes opened his briefcase. "That's all that mattered to you." The live stream hit 15,000 viewers. Comments: "Lawyer destroying him! This is insane! Justice!" Victoria walked behind the reception desk, stood where staff belonged. "David, come here." "Ma'am?" "Come behind this desk." David hesitated, then walked around. Now he was on the guest side. "How does it feel?" Victoria asked. "What?" "Being on that side, powerless, judged." Her voice was quiet venom. "Uncomfortable?" David nodded, unable to speak. "Now imagine feeling that way because of your skin color, every single day." The lobby was silent except for camera clicks. "I'm sorry," David whispered. "Sorry you got caught, or sorry you did it?" Sorry I judged you." "Not just me. How many others, David? How many black guests, Latino guests? Anyone who didn't look like you?" David's shoulders shook. "I don't know." "I do." Victoria opened another folder. Security footage. Complaint records. 7 formal discrimination allegations this year, all involving your desk. Jennifer gasped. 7? 7 that were reported. How many suffered in silence? The weight of it hit David like a physical blow. Hayes stepped forward. "Each incident represents potential damages, legal fees, settlement costs, reputation damage." "What's the total?" Sarah asked. "Conservative estimate? $23 million in liability and lost revenue." The number echoed through the lobby. David staggered. $23 million because you couldn't treat people equally. Victoria's phone buzzed. She read the text and smiled coldly. "David, you have 30 seconds to make a choice." "What choice?" "Resign with dignity or be terminated for cause." "What's the difference?" "Resignation comes with severance and neutral references. Termination means you leave with nothing and everyone knows why." The live stream comments exploded. 30 seconds. "Choose wisely. He's finished either way." David looked around the lobby. Cameras everywhere. His career over regardless. "If I resign, will you give the others a chance?" Victoria studied him. The first unselfish thing he'd said. "The others can earn their chances. You forfeited yours." "Then I resign." "Good choice." Victoria turned to the crowd. "Let this be clear to everyone watching. Discrimination has consequences." She addressed the cameras directly. "This hotel had a problem. We identified it. We're fixing it." "How?" Sarah asked. "Complete staff retraining, new management, zero tolerance policies. Victoria's voice carried absolute authority. And full transparency. Transparency how? Monthly diversity audits, public complaint records, customer satisfaction data by demographics, everything online. The lawyer handed her a folder. The board is assembled. They're waiting. Victoria nodded. Time for the real meeting. She looked at the remaining staff. Jennifer, Tom, Kevin, you have 20 minutes to decide if you want to be part of the solution. What happens in 20 minutes? Jennifer asked. I meet with the board of directors. We discuss terminations. Victoria's smile was sharp. All of them. The live stream hit 18,000 viewers. Comments. Board meeting. Everyone's getting fired. This isn't over. Victoria gathered her documents. David, security will escort you out. Can I say something? Make it quick. David turned to the live stream camera. To everyone watching, I was wrong. Completely wrong. I let my bias hurt an innocent person. Learn from my mistake. Victoria nodded approvingly. That's the first honest thing you've said all day. She walked toward the elevator bank. Marcus, conference room A, 5 minutes. Yes, ma'am. Victoria stopped at the elevator and turned back to the lobby. Oh, and everyone? Her voice carried to every corner. The show's just getting started. The elevator doors closed on her smile. In the lobby, phones continued recording. The live stream counter climbed toward 20,000. The real reckoning was about to begin. Conference room A, 15th floor. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the city. A mahogany table stretched between 12 leather chairs. Victoria entered at exactly 3:30 p.m. Her heels clicked against polished marble. Behind her, Marcus, 2 lawyers, and the hotel's former general manager, Patricia Williams. Patricia looked nervous. Ms. Sterling, I had no idea about the lobby incident. Sit down, Patricia. Victoria took her place at the head of the table, opened her briefcase, withdrew 3 folders marked Confidential. Marcus, connect us to the Sterling board. The wall screen flickered to life. 8 faces appeared via video conference. Board members from across the country. Good afternoon, everyone. Victoria's voice carried new authority. We have a situation. Board member James Morrison spoke first. Victoria, we saw the live stream. 23,000 viewers and climbing. Current count is 31,000, Marcus reported. Hashtag #Hotel Justice is trending. Patricia paled. 31,000 people? Saw your staff discriminate against your new owner. Yes. Victoria opened the first folder. Let's discuss the damage. She spread photos across the table. Screenshots from the live stream. David calling security. Jennifer's eye roll. Tom positioning himself behind Victoria. These images are viral. Posted on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Victoria's voice was clinical. Our brand reputation is under attack. Board member Sarah Morgan leaned forward on screen. What's the immediate impact? Stock price dropped 12 points in 30 minutes. 3 major corporate contracts under review. 2 convention bookings canceled. Jesus, Patricia whispered. That's just the beginning. Victoria opened the second folder. Legal liability assessment. Hayes, the lawyer, took over. 7 discrimination complaints this year, all documented, all involving lobby staff. What's our exposure? Asked board member David Kim. Conservative estimate, 47 million in potential damages. Class action lawsuit probability, 85%. Patricia's hands shook. 47 million? That assumes we settle quickly. If this goes to trial, Hayes paused. Could reach 9 figures. The room fell silent. The board members exchanged worried glances. Victoria opened the third folder. However, we have an opportunity. Opportunity? Patricia looked confused. Crisis management done right becomes competitive advantage. Victoria spread new documents. I propose the Sterling Standard. What's that? Morrison asked. Industry-leading diversity and inclusion protocols, complete transparency, public accountability. Marcus activated a presentation on the wall screen. Phase 1, immediate terminations and retraining. Phase 2, monthly diversity audits. Phase 3, industry certification program. You want to make this hotel a diversity showcase? Morgan asked. I want to make Sterling Hospitality the diversity leader. Turn today's crisis into tomorrow's brand advantage. Patricia found her voice. What about current staff? That depends on them. Victoria's eyes were steel. Some will adapt, others won't. How do we decide? Performance metrics, guest satisfaction scores, complaint patterns. Victoria smiled coldly. Data doesn't lie. Hayes presented a chart. Current customer satisfaction, 67%. Industry average, 81%. Five-star hotels, 94%. We're underperforming because of discrimination, Victoria stated. Fix the culture, fix the numbers. Board member Lisa Rodriguez spoke up. What's the timeline? 60 days for complete transformation. New management structure, retrained staff, monitoring systems. And if we fail? We close this property, sell the real estate, take the loss. Patricia gasped. Close the hotel? 200 jobs lost. Community economic impact, negative press. Victoria's voice was matter-of-fact. Or we succeed and become the model others follow. What do you need from us? Morrison asked. Full authority to implement changes, legal support for terminations, marketing budget for reputation recovery. How much? $5 million for the transformation, $20 million for legal reserves. That's a significant investment, Kim noted. Less than the lawsuit costs if we do nothing. Victoria leaned forward. Gentlemen, ladies, this isn't just about one hotel. This is about Sterling's future. Chen nodded slowly. If discrimination allegations spread to other properties, our entire chain becomes vulnerable. 47 hotels, 12,000 employees, $3 billion in assets. The weight of it settled over the room. What about the staff involved? Rodriguez asked. David Morgan has resigned. Jennifer Martinez faces termination pending investigation. Security guards require retraining and probation. And Patricia? Victoria looked at the general manager. Patricia gets one chance to prove she can lead change. Thank you, Patricia whispered. Don't thank me yet. Your performance review is in 30 days. Guest satisfaction must hit 85% or you're gone. I understand. Victoria stood and walked to the window. The city sprawled below. This morning, Sterling Hospitality was just another hotel chain. Tonight, we become the company that chose justice over profits. Justice is profitable, Hayes added. Diverse companies outperform homogeneous ones by 35%. The business case is clear, Victoria continued. Inclusion drives innovation. Respect drives revenue. Equality drives excellence. Morrison cleared his throat. Victoria, you have our full support. Implement the Sterling Standard. Seconded, Morgan agreed. All in favor? Victoria asked. 8 hands raised on screen. Unanimous. Motion carried. Victoria smiled genuinely for the first time. Marcus, issue the press release. Already drafted, goes live in 10 minutes. Patricia leaned forward. What does the press release say? Victoria returned to the table, read from her phone. Sterling Hospitality Group acknowledges today's discrimination incident at our Grand Metropolitan property. We take full responsibility and announce immediate reforms. She continued reading. Effective immediately, all Sterling properties will implement enhanced diversity training, transparent complaint processes, and monthly public audits. Public audits? Patricia looked nervous. Customer satisfaction scores by demographics, complaint resolution times, staff diversity metrics, all posted online monthly. Isn't that risky? Sunlight is the best disinfectant. We have nothing to hide if we're doing things right. Hayes presented final documents. Legal has prepared termination letters, training curricula, and new employment contracts. How many terminations? Rodriguez asked. Minimum 3, maximum 12, depending on investigation results. That's significant turnover. Better than losing the entire hotel. Victoria's voice was firm. We're not just changing policy, we're changing culture. Marcus checked his phone. Press release is live. Statement is trending. Sterling Standard hashtag starting. Good. Victoria gathered her documents. Patricia, you have your marching orders. 60 days to transform this property. Yes, ma'am. The world is watching. Don't let them down. Victoria moved toward the door, then stopped. Oh, and Patricia? That live stream saved us $47 million in legal fees. Sometimes accountability is a gift. She walked out, leaving behind a room full of people who finally understood the cost of discrimination. In the lobby below, phones still recorded. The counter hit 50,000 viewers. Change was coming to the Grand Metropolitan Hotel and to every Sterling property in America. 2 months later. The Grand Metropolitan Hotel lobby buzzed with different energy. Training certificates hung behind the reception desk. A digital display showed monthly diversity metrics. Customer satisfaction, 91%. Complaint resolution, 24 hours average. Staff diversity training, 100% complete. Victoria walked through the revolving doors at 2 p.m., same time as her first visit. This time, the reception staff smiled genuinely. Welcome to the Grand Metropolitan Hotel. How can we help you today? The new lead receptionist, Maria Santos, had replaced Jennifer 3 weeks ago. I'd like to check availability for tonight. Absolutely. Let me check our premium rooms. Maria's fingers flew across the keyboard. No hesitation, no extra verification. A black businessman approached the desk beside Victoria. Maria's colleague, James, immediately assisted him with the same warm professionalism. Victoria smiled. Progress. Patricia Williams approached from the concierge desk. Ms. Sterling, welcome back. How was your flight from Chicago? Productive. The Meridian Cincinnati is implementing the Sterling Standard next week. Excellent news. Would you like to see the latest metrics? They walked to Patricia's office. The walls displayed charts showing steady improvement. Guest satisfaction scores climbed from 67% to 91%. Complaints dropped 73%. Online reviews improved from 3.2 stars to 4.6 stars. Most importantly, Patricia said, we haven't had a single discrimination complaint in 60 days. 0 incidents? 0. The new protocols work. Every staff member completes monthly bias training. We track service times by guest demographics. Any disparities trigger immediate review. Victoria studied the data. Revenue impact? Up 34% quarter over quarter. Occupancy rates hit 94%. Corporate bookings increased 67%. The business case for equality? Exactly. Treating people fairly is profitable. A knock interrupted them. Tom Bradley, the former security guard, stood in the doorway. He now wore a customer service supervisor uniform. Ms. Sterling, may I speak with you? Of course, Tom. He entered nervously. I wanted to thank you for giving me a second chance. You earned it. Your customer satisfaction scores are highest in the hotel. The training changed everything. I learned about unconscious bias, microaggressions, things I never understood. Tom's voice was sincere. I was wrong that day. Completely wrong. We all have biases, Tom. The question is whether we acknowledge and address them. I do now. Every day. Victoria shook his hand. That's all any of us can do. After Tom left, Patricia continued the briefing. Kevin completed the management training program. He's being promoted to assistant security chief. And the staff who couldn't adapt? 3 terminations, 2 resignations. But we retained 87% of our team. Better than expected. The ones who stayed were genuinely committed to change. It shows in their performance. Victoria's phone buzzed. Text from Marcus. Channel 7 interview request. Follow-up story on hotel transformation. She replied, accept. Full transparency. Patricia noticed her typing. More media? The story isn't over. Success needs documentation, too. They walked back to the lobby. The live-stream teenager from 2 months ago sat in the lounge area, laptop open, editing video. Victoria approached her. Excuse me, aren't you the young woman who filmed the original incident? Yes, ma'am, Ashley Morgan. I'm making a follow-up video about the changes here. What's your take? Honestly, this place is completely different. Night and day. Ashley gestured around the lobby. Staff treats everyone the same. No weird looks, no attitude, just good service. You've tested this? Ashley grinned. I brought my black friend, my Latino cousin, my white boyfriend. Same treatment for everyone. Scientific methodology. My followers demand receipts. The follow-up video has 2.3 million views so far. Victoria smiled. Keep holding us accountable. Always. At 3 p.m., Sarah Morgan from Channel 7 arrived with her camera crew. She set up in the lobby where the original incident occurred. Ms. Sterling, 2 months ago, this lobby was the scene of viral discrimination. What's changed? Everything and nothing. Victoria's response was measured. The building is the same, the mission is different. How so? We realized that hospitality isn't about serving people who look like us. It's about serving everyone with dignity. The financial impact? Revenue up 34%. Customer satisfaction at all-time highs. Staff retention improved. Victoria paused. Doing right is good business. What about other Sterling properties? All 47 hotels now operate under the Sterling standard. Monthly diversity audits, transparent complaint processes, zero tolerance for discrimination. Industry response? 12 major hotel chains have adopted similar protocols. Change is spreading. Sarah concluded the interview. Any message for viewers? One person with a phone changed everything. Individual actions matter. Accountability works. Victoria looked directly into the camera. These real-life stories prove that touching stories about justice aren't just inspiration. They're transformation. The interview ended. Victoria walked to the reception desk where this all began. Maria, I'd like room 1247, please. Of course, Ms. Sterling. Welcome home. Home. Victoria smiled at the word. The Grand Metropolitan wasn't just her property anymore. It was proof that people could change, systems could improve, and justice could prevail. 6 months later, Victoria Sterling stood before 500 hospitality executives at the National Hotel Conference in Las Vegas. The keynote speech that started with 8 minutes of discrimination had become a movement. The Sterling Standard is now implemented across 127 hotels nationwide, she announced. Not just Sterling properties. Marriott, Hilton, and Hyatt have adopted our protocols. The audience applauded. In the front row sat Patricia Williams, now Regional Director of Diversity and Inclusion. Beside her, Tom Bradley, promoted to Corporate Training Manager. Customer satisfaction industry-wide has increased 23% where these standards are implemented. Discrimination complaints dropped 78%. Revenue increased an average of 31%. Victoria clicked to her final slide. But the real measure isn't profit. It's people. The screen showed faces, guests who now felt welcome, staff who learned to serve without bias, communities where dignity was standard, not exceptional. David Morgan, the manager from that viral video, now leads bias training at our Chicago property. He chose growth over defensiveness, accountability over excuses. More applause. The transformation was complete. Ashley Morgan, the teenager who live-streamed the original incident, received our first Sterling Scholarship. She's studying hospitality management at Cornell. Victoria paused, scanning the audience. Change starts with one voice, one camera, one person willing to say, "This is wrong." She stepped away from the podium. These Black stories matter. These touching stories about standing up for what's right create ripple effects beyond what we imagine. Every real-life story of discrimination challenged becomes a life story of justice achieved. The conference ended with a standing ovation. But Victoria's real work continued in hotel lobbies across America. That evening, she checked into a Marriott in downtown Vegas. The desk clerk, a young Black woman, smiled warmly. "Welcome, Ms. Sterling. We're honored to have you." "Thank you. How's your training program going?" "Excellent. We implemented Sterling standard protocols last month. Every guest feels the difference." Victoria nodded. Mission accomplished. Later, she posted on LinkedIn. 6 months ago, 8 minutes of discrimination became 50 million views of justice. Today, 127 hotels serve everyone equally. Tomorrow, we reach 500. The post garnered 47,000 likes within hours. Comments poured in. "You changed our industry forever. Thank you for not staying silent." This is how real change happens. But Victoria's favorite comment came from Ashley Morgan. "Still watching, still recording, still holding everyone accountable." And Victoria's story proved that power isn't about position. It's about principles. Not about wealth, but about worth. Not about getting even, but about getting better. The Grand Metropolitan Hotel still displays Victoria's photo in the lobby, not as owner, but as the guest who changed everything. The plaque reads, "Dignity is not negotiable." Have you witnessed discrimination? Shared your story? These real-life stories need voices. Your voice. Comment below about times you've seen bias in action. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more touching stories about justice, courage, and change. Because every Black story matters. Every person's life story deserves respect. And every act of standing up creates waves that reach shores we can't imagine. Hit that subscribe button. Share your experiences. Be the change. The next transformation starts with you.